Our today's lesson is about the sequencers. The sequencers, okay? What are the sequencers? Before we get started, let's make a quick review about something we already studied in sequence 1, okay? About the itinerary. Do you remember? Itinerary. So, let's read the short text, okay? I will refresh your memory. First, we went to Oran. Then, we traveled to Spain. After that, we visited the south of France with a stopover of 2 nights at Corsica Island. Finally, we returned to Algiers. Do you remember? When you describe your itinerary, okay? You have to use some words to organize your ideas, okay? To organize your speaking and your writing as well, okay? So, come back to this question. What are the sequencers? They are just like words that we use to organize our writing, our ideas, to organize steps in order of time, okay? So, we often use the sequencers to talk about our itinerary, okay? Also, to give instructions, to talk about the process, how to do something. When you ask somebody how to do something, you give like instructions and use the sequencers to order your steps, okay? And also in argumentative text, when you want to defend an opinion, okay, you have to use these words to organize your arguments and your thoughts. So, the sequencers are like steps. Basically, they are 5, but you can add more. The first one is first, as you see here. First comes always in the beginning. You have to start with first. Then you have next, then, after that. These 3 are in the middle. And finally, always comes at the end, when you want to finish your process or your steps. Use the word finally, okay? So, these 3 are interchangeable. You can start with, for example, first, I do this. You can say then, next, after that. It doesn't matter about the order, okay? But most important is that you start with first and you finish with the word finally. This is really important, okay? So, let's think about another example about how to do something, about giving instruction. I just want you to imagine how, for example, how to do a cake, okay? How to do a cake. You need steps to follow, okay? So let me write a short paragraph here and let's discuss about it. Okay, so here, in the first part, we talked about how to describe or to talk about your travel itinerary, okay? As you already studied it in sequence 1. Now here, let's think about how to make a cake. If you want to make a cake, what are the necessary steps you have to follow? Let's read this short paragraph. First, you have to read the recipe. Next, you have to buy the ingredients. Then, you should preheat the oven. The oven, you should preheat it. While the oven is preheating, okay, mix the ingredients together and put them in a pan. After that, let the cake bake for 20 minutes. Finally, take the cake out of the oven and ice it. Okay? So, here, let's sort out all the sequencers. First, next, then, step 1, step 2, and step 3, okay? Here, this word is also used as a sequencer. Here we want to express two simultaneous actions. Two actions happening at the same time, okay? So while the oven is preheating, you do something else. You mix the ingredients together, okay? Two actions. So here, use while to talk about two simultaneous actions. Two actions happening at the same moment. We already studied it with the past continuous, the present continuous, sorry. The fourth step is, where is it? The oven preheating. Mix the ingredients together and put them in a pan. After that, let the cake bake for 20 minutes. Finally, the last step. Take the cake out of the oven and ice it, okay? So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5 or 6, as you like. Here, we can also use other alternatives, other words, to express nearly the same meaning, okay? For example, here, instead of saying first, I can use firstly, okay? Or I can use to begin with, or to start. Or I can say first of all, okay? So there are other alternatives. Sorry, here. Instead of saying first, you can just write first, firstly, okay? Firstly. Or I can write to begin with. See, you can say to begin with. You have to read the recipe. Then here, next. You can say secondly, or you can use then, okay? It's up to you. Then, to begin with, you do this and that. Then, or you can say secondly, okay? So, firstly, secondly. These are just alternative words you can use. So here I can put then, you have to do this. Here I can interchange and make next. You see? As I said here, the order is not important. The order of these three, next, then, and after that. Then you have to buy the ingredients. Next, you should preheat the oven. Okay? While the oven. So here I can replace it by during. During the oven. Okay, it's preheating, or while, so it's not necessary to change it. After that, you can just write later. You do this, okay? Here, finally, you can replace it by at last. Or lastly, like this. Lastly, okay? It is the last step, the last thing to do to prepare your cake, okay? Okay, so for this example, I think things are clear, okay? You can use the ordinal numbers. What are the ordinal numbers? Like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, okay? So you can add as many steps as you want, okay? It depends on your recipe or your process, the process you want to describe. Good. We will see another example now, okay? Let's move to the third one, argumentative text. Okay, so now let's see the third point I talked about, how to sequence your ideas in an argumentative text, okay? This text is about charity. What is charity? Charity work. Charity work is like when people organize themselves into groups and really work really hard to help people, to help poor people, people in need, disabled people, okay? So this is a very honorable work. Charity work is a very useful activity for many reasons, okay? For many reasons. So here you are going to list the arguments why you think charity is very useful and important, okay? So the first argument, first, it's a universal human value. First, it's a human universal value, okay? Instead of saying first, you can say firstly. Firstly is more familiar, it's less formal than first. First is formal, okay? You can say firstly. Firstly. Okay, so here are the ordinal numbers. First, second, third. So, second argument. Second, it helps to strengthen community bonds, okay? To make people share many things, to really reinforce the links between people, okay? So, it helps to strengthen community bonds. Third, the third argument here, you can say second, you can also say second, okay? Third or thirdly, okay? Third or thirdly. The government alone cannot solve all the social problems, okay? It's obvious. The government cannot work alone. We, as people, have all to take part of this action. Okay? All citizens should take part in relieving the pains. All the citizens should take part in relieving the pains and the sufferings of the poor, the disabled, and the homeless people. I mean, people without home. Okay? So, as you see here, to organize your ideas, your arguments, just use ordinal numbers like first, second, third, which are formal ones. And to be more or less formal, you can just use firstly, secondly, thirdly. If you want to add more ideas, more arguments, you can say moreover, in addition, okay? There are many alternatives that you can use. And you will see them in details in your lesson, okay? In the written version. Okay, so now, to finish the lesson, I just want to make a quick summary, okay? Just to review the sequences. I just want you to imagine at home, I want you to tell me about your morning routine example, using the sequencers, just to make you practice. So, to talk about the things you do in the morning when you wake up, you can use these words to organize your speech. Let me tell you about my morning routine in the morning. So, the first thing I do in the morning. First, I wake up. At 7 o'clock. I'm talking about when I was working, okay? First, I wake up at 7 o'clock. Next, I prepare breakfast, or I eat breakfast. Then, maybe I brush my teeth. Okay, brush my teeth. After that, I prepare my little son also, okay? Or I get dressed. Finally, I go to work, okay? So, you can use these words to talk about your routine, isn't it? So, I really want you to practice these sequencers at home, okay? To talk maybe about your routine, or to tell me how to prepare something, your favorite recipe, cooking recipe, okay? So, send me back all your paragraphs, okay? I will correct them. I will be really happy. So, I hope my lesson is clear enough. It's okay for today. See you next time. Bye-bye.